I totally do.
Go ahead.
It makes me laugh. So we walked into a home with a family that was non-English speaking, and their translator, who was 16 years of age. And inside there was a stripper pole. Immediately when you walk
There
in
was
the
a
door,
dancing pole.
whatever.
It was a dancing pole. I don't know. I want to use that verbiage.
Okay, well, you're messing up my great story, dude.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we walk in and there's this pole. And it was evident that they had audio and video equipment all over the house, that there was some little side business going on in this home. And the 16-year-old translator says to me, they want to know what this pole is. And I said, it's for dancing, and I'll tell you more when we're done touring the house. Because I knew there was audio equipment everywhere, watching every move and taping every, which is very common in houses now. They're taping audio, visual, they're like, you can see it all. And then that became an interesting story when we got out of the house. The owner had come back before we had left and was asking us our interest level. Did our clients want to buy the house? And I'm like, whoa, like we let the selling agent know. Your buyer, that's not their job. They hired you to do that, which is out of our control. You know, some people do goofy things. But then to have the conversation, I sort of wanted it to just let go. But they were asking the 16-year-old, you know, tell me more. And he's like, okay, what about that pole? And so then I tell them, you know, sometimes
It's a stripper pole.
people dance with or without clothing on those poles. And there was just a roar of laughter, and thank God it wasn't the greatest location for this particular family, so we moved on.
Another property. I mean, we've had multiple, had multiple. Our hunting area down south, 350 plus acres, was a unique property, owned by a family for a good number of years, and just unique, meaning they had to find the right buyer for this property. So
Because it was timber.
it was timber, marshland. There was a house on it, but it was, you know, it was just, it needed somebody that was willing to utilize it for what it was intended for. So hunting and
Well,
being
anytime
so.
Tony got a request to show that, he was super excited because he would go down with the seller and they would get on that 4x4 side by side and tour the grounds with the potential buyer. So they were like kids.
Multiple times, had to get out and pull the winch out and get out of the marsh.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
They're like kids at Christmas.
Yeah.
Can't even
So-
wait to get out there and show it. And
Yeah.
yeah, that
Gosh,
was cool.
We've been in some great situations. Beautiful homes, unique situations, unique homes.
And fun. I remember working with this particular buyer, the very first house we looked at, they were like, okay, we love everything about this, but the kitchen. Like, it was super important to them to not open the kitchen refrigerator doors and have them impede any space around a kitchen island. Or which one I'm talking about.
Yep.
And this one did, and they were like, we're out. And then they were like, well, maybe we could, you know, do something with the kitchen. But every time we leave a showing, we write what they like, what they don't like, and we rank it. And then I write specific quotes from, you know, whoever's saying it. And this particular one, the spouse said, I will never live in this house because of this particular kitchen. And I was built by a builder. And why would you do that? And it was just fun to, you know, review that. Okay, this is what I'm gathering. Okay, we're moving on. And it ended up after, I don't know, 12, 15 showings. It was the house they bought. So
Again,
gets
yeah,
fun.
It does. So.
like and that's the fun thing about representing buyers that we talk about in our initial buyer consultation, especially with first-time home buyers or in the luxury market, right? You have people at both ends of it saying, you know, I will not move into a home that the primary bathroom doesn't have a toilet that's enclosed. And then they end up buying one that doesn't have a toilet that's enclosed. But it's fun to get on the track and just in our buyer consultation saying, we're going to learn a lot as we go. And even in that initial first one, these first time home buyers are like, yeah, we want a ranch. And then they are like, oh, this feels like my grandma's house. I don't want a ranch. Or they're like, we only want a ranch, and they're like, yep, we're gonna stick with ranch. Or then they go to townhome condo. It's crazy. We have a fun client right now who is looking for a ranch condominium with attached garage, who sent us something they wanted to look at that was single family with a detached garage. And then we have to remind them, is this a deal breaker? Well, now it's not. A detached garage isn't a deal breaker, which is fun.
All right.